No matter how imposing Caprice was, in its model line there was also a charged modification for temperamental motorists. Under the name Chevrolet Impala, a car was hidden that looked like the progenitor. Only the radiator grille with an integrated emblem and a number of other trim elements differed. But the contents of its engine compartment was much more interesting. The derated 5.7-liter unit from the Chevrolet Corvette provided the 2-ton car with very decent dynamics. But to a potential owner, he will also bring trouble with the search for spare parts. And this applies not only to the power unit, but also to other structural elements. And there are no non-original spare parts for this version. It is unnecessary to argue about whether it is worth buying police modifications or former taxis. As a rule, the modes of operation of these machines do not contribute to longevity. You can identify the policeman by the seat for the side lamp on the left windshield pillar, an additional engine cooling radiator, and a lockable rear axle differential. And taxi drivers, as a rule, have a minimal list of equipment. Caprice engines match the overall design of the car. Cast iron cylinder block and head, lower camshaft. All this resembles, rather, a truck. But these features provide phenomenal survivability 4.3-, 5.0, and 5.7-liter powertrains. It is not for nothing that they have a reputation of millionaires. But at the same time, such fame finishes them off. Many car owners, believing in the survivability of engines, ignore the terms for changing oil, filters, and candles. Subsequently, this creates many problems. For example, candles are exposed to moisture due to their low location. In conditions of irregular maintenance due to corrosion, problems arise when dismantling candles. Another problem is threaded connections with inch threads and bolt and nut heads, which require the use of unpopular wrenches for 11, 15, 16, etc. In this regard, during maintenance and repair, complications often arise. In 1994, the 5.7-liter engine received an aluminum cylinder head, and the 4.3-liter unit remained entirely cast iron. At the same time, both engines received a modern system of distributed fuel injection. Previously, central injection was installed. By the way, in the cast iron heads of the block, despite their solidity, cracks may appear if the temperature regime is not observed. The rest of the power units are practically trouble-free. The timing chain serves about 300,000 kilometers, and then, as a rule, due to stretching, it must be replaced. The need for this operation will be indicated by the instability of the power unit and the increase in the already rather large fuel consumption, over 20 liters per 100 kilometers in the urban cycle. Labor and parts cost $250. The radiator of the air conditioner does not withstand the salt-rich Ukrainian winter roads. It corrodes and loses its tightness. Fans of mechanical transmissions have to regret that the Caprice was equipped exclusively with a 4-speed automatic transmission, which transmitted torque to the rear axle. But despite the fears of many experts, this knock cannot be called a sissy. Yes, he loves regular, every 40,000 kilometers, oil change. For a caring owner who prefers a measured driving style, an automatic transmission can last the entire life cycle of the car without breakdowns. However, even under conditions of careless operation, the box does not die immediately. The first surrender clutches third and fourth gear. But even with their complete failure, the car can move. In harsh operating conditions, the gearbox will require a major overhaul after 150,000 kilometers, about $1,000. Some transmission components require more frequent maintenance. So, the crosses of the drive shaft will serve for a long time, provided they are lubricated every 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers. The suspension of the car, like other components, is quite strong. Front-mounted double wishbones, springs, anti-roll bar. Behind, a continuous beam of the bridge. Somewhat archaic, but nevertheless enduring and practical. Except for one but. Ball joints, 2 on each side, and tie rod ends, 4 pieces, must be lubricated, syringed, at intervals of 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers. Otherwise, their resource is reduced by 3 to 4 times. Most silent blocks of the front suspension and bushings of the rear axle reaction rods serve over 100,000 kilometers. True, due to the large mass of the car, shock absorbers nurse no more than 50,000 to 70,000 kilometers. A huge trunk provokes to carry anything in it, so the owners load it with sandbags and the like, which is why the springs sag ahead of time. Solving the problem with spacers worsens the already not brilliant behavior of the car on the road. which in real life has nothing to do with the dashing turns from police action movies. Significant problems can arise with the brake system. First, the poor protection of brake calipers causes them to rust badly over time and need to be replaced entirely. In addition, metal lines of the brake system are subject to corrosion. But the power steering does not require attention for a long time. Only love can justify the desire to become the owner of the Chevrolet Caprice Classic. Love for massive, somewhat rough forms, high comfort, American classics. Difficulties with repairs and finding spare parts, high fuel consumption, difficulties in maneuvering. All this is contraindicated for a person who is used to being guided by a sober calculation. Of course, the car captivates with a very attractive price, according to the weekly Avtobaser, from $3,500 to $10,500. But in the process of operation, it will require considerable funds for repairs, and then the total cost of the Caprice owner will be equal to the cost of European competitors.